Hey, it's your boy Jeremiah. Smoke Monday Sports. I'm glad to see y'all here this evening. I'm glad to see y'all here tonight. Sacramento Kings versus our boys, the Pelicans. What was the score? Sacramento 93, the Pelicans 120. Chinga, I'll have to put my glasses back on. To be honest, I'm blind, but 129 points. 93 to 129 points. We're going to give thanks, first of all, to the Lord Jesus. The reason we're here, and every opportunity that we have, is an opportunity that you can make. So always do that. That's what Jesus would do. You know, he was with sinners. He was with the tax collectors. He was with the prostitutes. You know, if we had to talk about Jesus nowadays, I don't know how we would talk about him. But Jesus was that man. And he made it known. Let's give some thanks to Jesus. Sacramento Kings 93, Pelicans 129. I can read over these numbers, but I think the score pretty much speaks to how that it wasn't even. It was a bad affair. I kind of felt sorry for those people in Sacramento. I don't think they really had a chance. We're gonna glad to see Jose Alvarado back out there. Ain't seen him in a while. They got some fire and some pepper on his ass. You know, if you're gonna have some fire and some pepper, your name's Alvarado. You know, you come from Puerto Rico trying to put on for your city. You know, gonna put some of that pepper out there for you. Another thing that came up tonight. Cody Zeller. Cody Zeller off the bench. You know, we'll get into this later, but he put on some solid statistics. You know, usually you keep a big man in there to be there for the younger players, you know. But Cody Zeller came off the bench and produced tonight with the 99. The team chemistry tonight. The team chemistry. The way the ball moved around. The insides, outsides, left side. The ball bounced around. All right. The ball, it moved. All right. They did a lot better job of passing. Assists were way up, especially for the first half. I mean, they're all buying in to this new game called team basketball. And again, we're going to talk about Herb Jones, because you could say everything I just said to say this. You're going to need that man to stop the other people. Like, you can put up as many points as you want to make, but, you know, you got to stop them other people from making them points. And like, you have Herb Jones. I mean, people might think a lot about Zion Williamson and you know, let me be honest. Here's my assessment of Zion Williamson. he has had about as much gameplay as a second year guy going into the mid season. He really hasn't played that much. He hasn't had that much experience with he hasn't had, but we all grow up, we all mature. I think he will. You know what I mean? Like, I think, he's in a good environment. Especially, I think that Pelicans have put a nest around him. I think they're really, really rooting for his success. I believe the Pelicans have got, you gotta, the makings of a championship do not start when you're great. All right, nobody thinks about anything. You gotta be down on. There's a saying, you're never gonna come up until you've been down. Until you know what it is to be down, you will never be able to come up. All right, you need to know what it is to fail before you can succeed. Because failure, as much as we don't like it, failure is a good teacher. Failure is an absolutely good teacher. And it emphasizes the power of failure. Sometimes people would like to be all happy, lottie-dottie, and running on a marshmallow cloud. But, buddy, life is not like that. You have to be able to understand where you didn't, you have to be able to take accountability for mistakes you have made. But there's another thing I would like to bring out here today, and I've seen it through the last several games. It's this word called resilience. In the last 5-6 games, these Pelicans have showed resilience. They've either won them or they've been down by very little. We lost against, we beat the number 1 seed when it was the number 1 seed in Denver. And then we beat the number 1 seed when Dallas was the number 1 seed in Dallas. And then we now lost to the number 1 seed, I believe it is right now, in the Minnesota Timberwolves. All right? But I'm just going to say, I didn't get choked out by Draymond Green. Draymond Green didn't choke me out. Rudy Gobert might have got choked the fuck out, but I didn't. All right, and every other basketball team right here is thinking about the same thing. The best thing you could have done with the whole situation, don't choke him back, smack him square off in the goddamn face. Don't be a killer, be a fighter. And that's the whole project with these bad things. I was in the army. You don't do that to somebody unless you really, really want to put some harm on them. I could go in some other things, but I just don't. It ain't my foray right now. Don't want to go into my sachet and echo to la magica, man. I'm just going to keep on going with what I got right now. And the Pelicans right now, they got some magic. Also, I'm going to say this about this game tonight. It was a great game. I read in a news article earlier that it's hard for people in New Orleans to actually watch the New Orleans Pelicans games because of Bally Sports and how they infrastructure that, and you have to have a certain kind of thing to watch it. They're not really on the local channels. the people that want to watch it, your fans, cannot really watch it. I'm one of the lucky ones. You know what I mean? I'm one of the lucky ones. But there's always going to be people there that really need to see that. You know, make them feel like, yeah, man, it's bad now, but we can come up, man. We can do better. We can build it better than we left it. And I'm going to tell you, because if you don't, if people in New Orleans are not able to watch their New Orleans Pelicans, absolutely do some amazing things at times. I'm Cody Zeller. I mean, you see it year to year. You find somebody, and with Coach Willie Green, you got a coach named Willie Green down there in New Orleans. Why can't my people watch these games? Why can't this get on some broadcast channel? NBC, ABC, CBS, Fox. Why can't that get down there on them? I guarantee you the Saints are going to be playing. But why not the Pelicans, baby? That pelican on that state flag, you never really watched it, but it got three youngins down there, and it rips out its chest, and it bleeds so those children can eat. That's the meaning of that state flag. That's the meaning of the pelicans. That pelican rips off its chest so the children can eat. I mean, there is no more meaning to that. I mean, that is the flag that we have. It's a great flag. I don't like the whole blue behind it. I think we probably need some lighting down there in New Orleans, but we need some lighting. And this goes into my third thing. We play the Sacramento Kings tonight. My mama, I called her. Her name's Margaret. A wonderful woman. Wonderful woman born in Hotel Adu down there in New Orleans, Louisiana. Well, most of my family is. Even my son was born in Oshners. All right? But she told me about Pete Maravich. She said, Pistol Pete Maravich. I said, Mama, yeah. Yeah. She really ain't down with the sports. She just, and she kept saying, well, son, Pistol, because I'm all Pele, it's most of my life. I'm like, I saw this and I saw that. But let me tell you about how them Pelicans did today. And she told me, man, we used to have this guy down there. He played for LSU. He was called Pistol Pete Maravich. Used to pass that ball around, absolutely assisting people. And she told me the team moved away. All right? It used to be the New Orleans Jazz. It used to be the New Orleans Jazz. Do you think people in Utah invented jazz? It was something they bought. But I'll tell you what, if people do not support, and we have a great team. We have a great team. In the last week, we have beaten the top contender twice. In the top contender now, we only lost by one point. We have a great team and a great owner. In Gail Benson. A woman that really loves South Louisiana, loves Louisiana in general. There's a reason they call us Louisiana and not Alabama. You know what I mean? Because we got some soul, y'all. The Pelicans were the Hornets. I think they tried to buy the name Jazz back. It was something I have read. Apparently, Utah is so enfranchised by the name, a name that came from our city, and their basketball team is doing so well, they won't give it back to us. And everybody knows on God's green earth that Bill Clinton doesn't go play the saxophone in Utah. Not at all, honey. Bill Clinton does not play the saxophone in Utah. I tell you where Bill Clinton might play the saxophone. Bill Clinton played saxophone in Hope, Arkansas, right? And then probably down there in New Orleans, Louisiana, baby. You gotta love what you got, or you ain't gonna have it at all. Great win. We need to get them fans and them stands. Make it a little bit cheaper and more accessible. Bring in the atmosphere. You have a winning team. The only thing you got left is Mardi Gras and Mardi Gras, honey. The NFL can't even play you for that. It's your boy Jeremiah. Smoke Monday Sports.